I'm here to celebrate with you some accomplishments for this year because it is 7 months into 2026 and I've just been struggling mentally. And I feel like I'm constantly in an uphill battle. I'm on an emotional roller coaster because I've applied to so many jobs and nothing has come up. Really, like, I've done interviews, but I haven't landed anything right now. And that is really demoralizing and sad and frustrating, as many of you guys are already experiencing. And there's solidarity in feeling like, I'm not the only one, because even my brother's going through that, and or he was doing that. And so I just feel like it is time for me to reset and to reflect on the good things that I've experienced this year. I know that I'm 1 month late, but that's okay. It's never too late to celebrate your accomplishments, your hard work, because for me, I feel like, you know, I understand and I can be on a good kind of cadence of feeling like I'm grateful for the things that I have. Like, I have great gratitude, and I know that the universe is working for me, not against me. But I do struggle in times, being on this emotional roller coaster of like, am I doing anything right? Am I doing enough? Am I wasting my time? Am I not good enough in general? Like, and it just gets me into a really tough mindset. And I just needed to pause myself before I continue spiraling to celebrate some really great wins, even as small as they are. In my mind, they're still meaningful and worthwhile, because for me, and let me know if you resonate with this too, where you work so hard and you try different things and it's like the bar continues to rise and you don't even give yourself time to enjoy the milestone that you actually reached. And that's been something where I struggle throughout my entire life. And I've done sessions like this where I've reflected in a journal, like, what have I done? What this past year, what did I do to think outside the box, to face my fears, to be brave, to experience new things, or to challenge myself? And every time I end up finalizing that list, I'm like, wow, like, I actually did a lot. And I feel like that's the jump start that I need right now, a nice reminder. So I have a cinnamon roll that I made myself the first time I made cinnamon rolls. And I thought it was cute because it's actually shaped like a heart. And then I put my cream cheese icing that I also made. And I thought, you know what? Let me celebrate right now with you. And I looked around to see if I had candle, and I have a six candle, which I know I'm 7 months in, but it'll do. It'll do. And celebrate my wins for this year so far. And I have my lighter. I just finished work, like, being outside, and I'm like extremely hot. So forgive my appearance. But I have my laptop to refer to the list that I created. And hopefully this serves to you as a reminder that no matter how little a win is, it is worthwhile celebrating. It's worthwhile recognizing and acknowledging, because you put an effort into that. And it just, even if something didn't even work out, not only to your idea, but in your favor, it's also a great thing for you to realize that these are just lessons learned. It gives you more data and more insights, not only to yourself, but to the life that you want to create and enjoy and continue building. And so this is a way for you to celebrate yourself, the all everything that comes along with working towards your goals. And so I'm happy that you're here with me to celebrate my wins. And I'm there spiritually to celebrate your wins. And let me know some of the things that you've reflected on this past year or this year so far, that you're really excited about, or that you love that you put yourself out there outside of your comfort zone. And I'll celebrate with you. All right, I have my list here. And let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to put this little candle here. Light it. Oh, I got to turn off the AC. I'm like right here. There we go. All right, so for 2026, we're going to start off strong with earlier this year, I hosted 2 community events in Central Florida with my best friend, and it was called Bonchinche and Bizcocho, which was basically a safe space to have real conversations with people who are experiencing, some challenges in their life and feeling like they're on their own, when there really isn't. And it's about building community. And this was really a major, big project that me and my best friend were able to work together. And I had really fantastic feedback on TikTok, and a lot of people who were interested. So I think that was major, because that was me leaning into my coaching practice, because I wanted to help people find themselves and build the confidence and being able to, face and overcome their fears. And that in itself, I face a lot of my own fears. I was being on social media a lot more, talking to more people, and it was so scary, but I'm very proud of myself for being able to do that and to build the agenda and to build a website specifically, and to generate ideas. And it was phenomenal. That is something that I learned a lot about. And so that's one of the many things that I wanted to celebrate. I obtained a new professional certificate in a new industry that I've never learned about. So hopefully that provides me pathways, because I've been unemployed for 2 years. And after applying to so many jobs, like nearly 1,000, more than that, but like 1,000 definitely for this year so far, I'm tired. I'm disillusioned. I am so sad. But anyways, going back to the celebration, which I had to turn this off because it put wax on my thing. So we'll put this to the side. Let's put it on here. Actually. Okay. Dang, I hope I'm not eating wax. All right. I ran 3.5 miles straight for the first time ever. I've only done it once, but I feel like that was a huge win, because I hate running. But I remember that day because I was like so anxious and I just needed to release that energy. So I was very proud of myself. I I had started a new job in aviation with Spirit, albeit it was very short of a stint, like 4 months. But I was proud of myself for trying something new. And it was very hard and challenging, but I'm very grateful because it gave me perspective to really what constitutes as an emergency and like a way more fast paced environment. And shout out to all the crew schedulers, pilots, and flight attendants. Like, wow, I left that job being so much more grateful and respectful for those who are in aviation. I've posted over 81 videos on TikTok. And this was like, wow, okay, I didn't realize that. I challenged myself to show up consistently. I was so focused on like, I didn't post several times a day, nor every day, but I did post every single week at least. And I just felt like a failure. But when I'm looking back at these stats, I'm like, 81 videos this year so far, I should be proud of that. And because that is so nerve wracking to me, like doing these videos is very nerve wracking. And I should be proud of that because I faced a huge fear of being seen and feeling like I have to be extremely perfect. And like I still have that in the back of my mind. But I wanted to push through that. I started this YouTube channel and looking forward to being more authentic and free flowing and yeah, just have conversations with you. I got to be an audience member. It was like a side quest where I've always wanted to be an audience member of like a TV show. And this gave me an experience to be an audience member for 3 shows in the same day. And that was like really cool. It was fantastic. It was for the Cassandra show. It was for another game show and some other show that I just forgot, which was like a panel conversation talking about real issues that are facing the Black community. And it was so enlightening. It was so like wow, like exciting to be a part of that and to listen and to learn and to grow. I volunteered for the Puerto Rican parade here in Central Florida. That's been on my list. I've always wanted to go to the Puerto Rican parade in New York. I'm from New York. I was born in the Bronx, but was raised in Florida. And I'm like, I've always missed the Puerto Rican parade. However, there was a Puerto Rican parade here in Central Florida. I was like, maybe I can volunteer and hopefully be on a float. I didn't get the chance to be on a float, but I was able to be a part of the logistics. And it was, wow, they represented so many different pueblos in Puerto Rico. And I'm just like, I learned a lot being Puerto Rican. I consider myself Afro Puerto Rican. My dad is Black Puerto Rican. My mom is um, Puerto Rican, more on the European side. And I also leaned into learning more about my roots, about the history of Puerto Rico. And it is, wow, like I feel for my people there. They're still struggling with a lot of things right now that are just like, why are we struggling to give the people fresh water? Fresh water. And I am just experiencing a lot of pain and sadness for those that are struggling to just have the basic necessity. And I want better for my people and for anybody. Like we live in the modern world right now. Why are we struggling to have free accessible or accessibility to fresh water? I got into polymer clay, which I was able to create like little trinkets and stuff like that. So that was fun because I wanted to lean into my creativity. I went to MegaCon thanks to my bestie Ashley. Like She got me tickets to MegaCon for my birthday, and it was so much fun. That has been on my list for years. And I dressed up as Kim Possible because it was so last minute. I was like, what do I have in my closet to just get dressed and go? And I did it, and it was so cool to see. Like, I love Halloween, I love being creative. I've built an escape room for myself for Halloween, like for a Halloween party, and I haven't been that creative in such a long time. So like being able to see that in person with people who create these awesome cosplay costumes, like it is just so mind-blowing. I went to Fort Lauderdale for a month. It was for work when I was with Spirit for, excuse me, for training, but it was all expenses paid. And I was like, okay, I'm here in Fort Lauderdale for a month. I love that. So I got the chance to do a flight simulator. That was really cool. And briefly was able to experience how it is to land and to take off a a commercial airplane. That was really cool in the simulator. Um, I struggled with my skin so much, and I know it was due to just stress in general, of course, how I was eating, but stress was definitely the number one source of my constant breakouts. And now I'm like finally like experiencing clearer skin. And that in itself, you know how stressful it is to like wake up and find a new pimple on your face. And it's like after like you do your regimen, you wash your face, you're tedious. And I don't eat sugar that much. I don't. And so like I try to take care of my body as best as I can. But you know, I'm not gonna front. These past few weeks, I haven't, because I've been stressed, I've been sad, I've been concerned, I've been so many things, and I'm just happy that I'm finally seeing better results with my skin. I got to have a lot more family time this year. That's another win, because I am extremely grateful to continue building the relationship with my family. And it's been a journey in itself, because new family members have come in, and I'm just like grateful to have a good community and being able to also nurture my relationships with my brother, my brothers, my sisters. And I'm extremely grateful that they check in on me, especially during like really hard times, and seeing my nephew and my nieces grow, and seeing that they're like their own little human beings. And I mean, they're all teenagers by now, but still, it's nice to see how much they've grown. And I get to experience them. You know, they share a lot about their likes and their dislikes and what they're dealing with, and I just love that they feel comfortable in doing that with me, and I'm just like extremely grateful. Last but not least, I for my TikTok pages, I've had a total of 71,000 views. And that's major. Like for me, I'm like, oh, like I've had a few really great videos that performed well. But when I did the analysis and the analytics, and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. And I think what's more important about that is that people have found value in what I was sharing, or they felt like they can connect and resonate with me, whether that is like experiencing hardships and breakups. I'm divorced. And so I left a very toxic relationship, and, you know, I'm on this journey of self love, self discovery, and understanding myself on a deeper level, and also knowing what I want in a relationship so I can personally be prepared to be accepting of that type of love. And so, you know, I feel like a lot of people connected because they too are struggling or on this similar journey of a healing journey, if you will. And on the other side of it, like connecting with my people and my community to understand, like, like our culture as Puerto Ricans, and, being in this diaspora, and showcasing knowledge about like the Taino civilization as I'm continuing to learn more about my roots. And it is really cool that I also get to like, and we connect on like a sense of humor, because I'm kind of goofy and I like to lean into that. And I feel like I've closed myself or put myself in a box of like feeling like I have to be perfect because, corporate America. And, when I left my job 2 years ago, I left my job, I left my marriage. I made major changes 2 years ago. And a lot of people don't realize that, like, although there's a lot of like greatness in making those decisions and knowing that no longer like leaving the situations that no longer serve you, it is exhilarating, it is validating, it is really great, because it's like, wow, I chose myself, I advocated for myself, and I know that I deserve better. But there's, on the other side, there's a lot of fear, hurt, and pain, and scare. Like, life is scary, especially when you're like, have to figure things out on your own. But I have to realize and remind myself that I had to do that regardless. I had to figure things out on my own, because I didn't have the answers. I didn't have the playbook or a strong support system that guided me in the right direction. I had to figure things out on my own. And so I just have to get back to that. I have to lean into that certainty and that knowing that I can take care of myself and create the life that I deserve and that I want. And I don't have to play this damsel in distress and wanting someone else to save me, because I was in that mindset this past year. Someone has to save me. I'm hurt. Like, I've given so much to others, which is so true, but no one's coming to rescue you. So you got to wake up and do things on your own. And I'm at that point in time in that my healing journey, that it's like that realization. It's like, all right, Christy, like, wake up. You want somebody to rescue you, and I would love that, to still be able to like be in this partnership of like we're working things together. But at the end of the day, you are the constant. You need to show up for yourself and have more control of that. So, with that, I'm celebrating this with you. All that to say, I've reflected and I'm very proud of myself. And although that I'm not feeling where I need to be right now, I'm just really happy that I've tried so many things and faced a lot of fears and challenges. And I'm happy that I was able to also take the time to reflect and to learn more about myself as I continue to be on this journey. And I know that my life is not looking as if I had imagined it when I was a kid, because I'm divorced. I gave up my house. I'm unemployed. I, like, that's not what I imagined. That's actually far from what I wanted. And although that this is my life right now, I know that it's making space for bigger and better things for myself. And so with that, I want to celebrate that with you in this cute little heart shape now with a hole in it. But cheers. I hope that you get to I hope you get to celebrate your personal wins and know that I am rooting for you. And oh, here's another one. I made this myself. So cinnamon rolls are hard. So here's a little bite. Mm-hmm. I'll take a big bite. Okay. With that, I'm sending you lots of love, positive vibes, and energy. And please practice the same level of compassion that you give to others to yourself. I know that things are may not I know that things may not be as easy as you would like, and you feel like the results are not you're not reaping the rewards from your labor. But when you recognize the small wins or big wins that you forgot to even acknowledge, it just helps you gain perspective. So, sending you lots of love. Thanks for celebrating with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.